Am I live? Our broadcast is live. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Nick. I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Also, traffic, no matter what Brian Bird says, was atrocious coming from the Far East Side. But thanks for joining me. Little tiny message that I'd like to get out there. I realize that in today's age, it's hard not to get frustrated, basically at all times. We are operating at a 10 all the time. And that's just not healthy, guys. It's just not healthy. And I'm probably the worst at this. Everywhere we go, you turn on your phone, you turn on the TV, you watch your favorite sports teams. I don't care what it is, and I don't care what your belief is, whether it's one way or the other. And right now, it's pretty much one way, either in this hand or in this hand, is pretty much how we believe, right? Doesn't matter, right? There used to be a time when we could all have conversations, all this stuff. Sadly, that time is pretty much gone, unless you're really close and it's behind closed doors and no one has had a single drop of alcohol. And that's it. Other than that, we can't talk about things like that. That's just the way it is at the moment. Hopefully that shifts back over where we can all kind of come together and talk. But what it really kind of comes down to is that we're all walking around so mad because that's all we ever see. That's all we ever do. We're all keeping our world small, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But, as the great Earl Nightingale used to say, you are what you think about, right? So constantly, if we're constantly putting ourselves in the same bubble and talking only people that believe in what we do, we follow certain things on social media. Case in point, the great Charles Dara, also known as a porn star, he has a great saying. He says, when you're looking on social media, you're going to find what you're looking for. Also at the internet. It's a really great quote because basically we're looking for what we want to hear. So if I want to hear things that are going to piss me off, right, I'm usually looking that up. I'm not looking up something that tells me videos about puppies and kittens. Remember how everybody used to do that, where little kittens playing with stuff, he's playing with a little ball of string, and it just puts a smile on their face. Nobody wants to watch that shit anymore, right? I want something that's going to piss me off. Right? I'm going to keep scrolling, right? That's all there is to it. I'm like, oh, that pisses me off. I'm going to read more into it. I'll click on it, right? That's the whole clickbait. Or it's a bikini. I don't know, bikini or something that's going to piss me off. That's what I'm looking at, right? And that's one of those things that comes down to. And I think if we kind of become a little more open about that, maybe have a conversation about maybe we shouldn't actively look for something that's just going to make our blood boil and get us frustrated, because then we can't even have a normal conversation. I was talking to my best friend today about something that we were both excited about, right? We're both talking. We're like, oh, this is great. That's awesome. And what did we do? Not 5 minutes into it, we went from laughing and smiling to about the current times right now. I'm sure you've all noticed there's something big hanging over everybody right now, which shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be a big deal, right? But it is. So whatever happens, one side's going to be angry and the other side's going to say they were wrong and all this kind of stuff. And it's going to go into this. This is out of control every day. And guess what? When this is over tomorrow, we'll have another one. And the next day we'll have another one. Why? Because the media gets paid the same way that anyways, so my point is they are getting their money by pissing us off. Okay, so maybe we should actively look for those kittens again. Maybe I'd like to see a kitten play with a ball of string. Maybe I would like to see some puppies. And if I don't, maybe I should just check it out first. Then I'll pull on something else. Because like we said, you are what you think about, right? So maybe we should go ahead, and if it's not puppies or kittens that's going to make you motivated, maybe look at something in your chosen profession. Like for us, let's look at real estate. Let's find some motivation. So one of the cool things is we just went through the Century 21 Leadership and Management Conference in Hawaii. Andrew and I and Norma and Karina from our Las Cruces office, we all went up there and had a ball and learned some great things. And we got to talk to a lot of other people. And one of the cool things about it was it kind of refreshed, right? Hit you down to the reset. You come back, you unplug a little bit, you come back and you realize, I don't know, all the stuff that I was really angry at before, you come right back into it. And I don't want that. I didn't like that feeling when I came right back in, and this is whatever my Instagram feed is blowing me up. And remember, everything that I see on my feed is stuff that they know. There's an algorithm that they know this is what I'm going to look at, right? Because again, we're keeping our world small. Maybe, and I've been trying to actively change that for the 2 days I've been back, to where I'm trying to look at some other stuff. I'm trying to look at motivation. I'm trying to find certain things, because this did motivate me. Going to Hawaii and talking to really successful brokers and real estate agents, it motivated me. And as we all know, hey, motivation doesn't last real long, right? Like David Goggins has a great quote, motivation ain't shit, right? Discipline's what gets you going, because motivation is only going to last until it's not sunny outside. Like I can say, I'm going to go out, I'm going to run, but it's a gorgeous day today, right? What about tomorrow when it's cold? What about the next day when it's raining? What about the next day when there's wind and rain? My motivation, it's gone, which means I'm not going to do it unless I decide to use that motivation. Again, this is David Goggins. Use my motivation, right? Is that little fire. And then I start in my little kindling, right? And I start stoking it and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the fire is so big that I don't care how cold, wet, rainy, whatever it is outside, I'm still going to go out there and do it because that discipline is there. So discipline is what's going to get you going. But even with discipline, it can really kind of fall. So we went to an open house today. In fact, that's why I put a link come here. And there weren't a whole lot of people, right? 18 months ago, that's where everyone was. It's Wednesday, right? It was every agent in town was looking at all the new stuff out there. It's how we kind of kept our finger on the pulse of the market. We can kind of see what's going up, what's showing up when our clients need something. Hey, I got something. I could see I've seen a builder. I've seen some houses in that area. I know what's going on. Now we haven't had that for 18 months. So we're trying to, hopefully we can kind of bring something like that back. Me personally, I think it's time to start living again, but that's just me, probably an unpopular opinion around here. But what we need to do is we really need to start getting around each other and seeing certain things. And it was really kind of neat to see what other people are talking about, talking to other realtors, because again, right now, everybody's so in their own little world that you don't even know how other people are handling certain things. And it's really easy to get stagnant, right? So that motivation, that was gone a long time ago. Probably 17 and a half months ago that was gone, right? So now it comes down to the discipline, and then people start forgetting certain things, what made other people tick. And again, I don't know if you guys noticed that the market's not what we thought it was going to be when this thing whole hit. 18 months ago, everybody thought, oh my gosh, this thing's going to fall apart. They're just going crazy. We have a house we put on Monday evening. 5 hours later, 4 offers. That's insanity, right? It's just insane. And, I need to remind you, it's Thanksgiving next week. This is crazy. Maybe getting out and talking to other realtors, maybe seeing how other people are navigating this whole different career path that we've all taken, the turn that this has taken is a good thing. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that in person, of course you can do that in certain groups, but I think it's important to really get out and have a conversation with other people, see what they're doing. And again, stop looking at stuff that's going to piss you off unless it's pissing you off in a good way and motivating you to get something done. But if all it's going to do is raise your blood pressure and get you walking out there and ready to ram your car into the side because traffic. I was on a drive down here. It should have been 21 minutes. It took me over an hour on the traffic. That's a pretty, in the grand scheme of things, not that big a deal though. Like, let's be honest, right? Like I can make my phone calls. I can listen to a podcast. I can listen to a book. I can do all these really great things. Or I can do like all the people I saw that were thumbing through Instagram on the freeway, which guess what? The reason we were all stuck was there was a car wreck, but everybody's thumbing through Instagram, and I guarantee you it wasn't to look up motivational quotes. Probably something to piss them off. Or a bikini. Like I said, both of those you shouldn't be reading while you're on the freeway, right? So my whole thing here, super fast. My whole goal is keep it under 8 minutes, and we're almost there. So don't try and piss yourself off, right? Life's going to do that anyways. There's a reason why everybody is so angry on the streets right now. Why everybody's so angry because we're angry all the time. Right? And it's like, if we don't have something else going on, if you're waiting around in line for the bathroom, if you're waiting around in line for coffee, what do we do? And something's going to piss me off on there. Why is that? Because they know if it's something that's emotional and inflammatory, I'm probably going to click on it, right? We don't click on beautiful sunrises anymore, sadly, but that's just not what sells newspapers or clicks, right? Clickbait, that's not what they use for it. Now it's all emotion. That's what we're using. So maybe let's try and get away from emotional based things and let's try and better ourselves. Try and find something that's going to motivate us in a good way to get better. Let's go out and search that stuff. Remember, Charles Darrow, right? We can find what we're looking for on the internet. It's there. It's there. And there's education that we can find. There's motivation that we can find. There's other people who are success stories because they took that motivation and turned it into discipline. And now they're badasses, right? I don't care if that's your physical body or it's your chosen career path. And in real estate, especially right now, if you're willing to put in the work, talk to other people, and stay flexible in the way the markets are changing and going and all the rest of this kind of stuff, you can kick this market's ass, right? So that's what we need to do. My suggestion, let's try and pull back from stuff that pisses us off, find some things that put a smile on our face, and try and put a smile on other people's faces too, right? Wave. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, don't do what I've been known to do and try and chase them down for 2 states. Just wave. Say, oh, must have been my fault. Well, that's okay. Let it go, right? What's the point? Okay, so that's where I think we are. You are what you think about. Earl Nightingale, thank you. Wise words have never been said. So thanks, guys, for joining for Coffee with Nick. Have a wonderful one. Have a great day. Put a smile on that face. Thank you. Now let's wait and see if there